I thought it was critical to its function.
Okay, so we're about to play a game called Nomic, and we're waiting for one guy to show up. But we're just going to do a prologue here. Without saying your last names.
Why?
Susan.
Well, I don't know if you want to protect your identity or whatever.
Are we going to be on the internets?
If you don't mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this game, Nomic, how do you play it, yo?
He's pointing the camera at you.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you play Nomic?
It's the game where everything's made up and the points don't matter. No, wait, that's Drew Carey's. This, we make points and we make them matter if we want them to matter. It's basically like a legislature. We write our own rules and write rules about rules, change them, amend them, repeal them. They must be written down before they are voted on. Every member has a turn in which they may propose a new rule. In fact, they have to at this point, because we don't have a rule saying that they can't. Yeah, we spent maybe an hour at the very beginning coming up with a rule on how to start.
Yeah.
There wasn't a rule for how to start.
Yeah, that was funny.
So I guess, I don't know, invoked the principle of the Big Bang to say that the unmoved mover,
It just happened.
that from whence there was nothing comes something.
Alright, well, that's his version of what Nomic is. That's his description. Let's see what this guy's description of it is.
Luke.
Luke, yeah.
Nomic is a game in which changing the rules is the mechanic of the game. On your turn, you make a move, you know, like in other games you move a piece or roll a die and move your thing, and then you gain points. In Nomic, making a move is changing the rules. We start with an initial set of rules, among which are setting up that the game is won by achieving a certain amount of points, how you gain points, how to resolve conflicts, how to propose rules, that you're supposed to propose rules, and even that you have to obey the rules, among other things. We've been playing this game for, well, this will be what, our third time?
Yeah, I think
about
so.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
So far we've not deviated very much from the initial rule set. It's a slow game. It's a game for people who enjoy bureaucracy and legalese. It's a mental exercise more than it is a game to win, like Monopoly or checkers.
Yeah, but last week we repealed Rule 109, so now there's a possibility.
We didn't repeal it. We made it mutable.
We made it mutable, so that means...
Rule 109 dictates that in order to make any immutable rule mutable, you have to have a unanimous vote. And in the immutable rules, which you're not allowed to change until you make them mutable, there are the rules that dictate that you have to gain points, how to gain points, that you have to obey the rules, and other things like that. So changing Rule 109 to mutable and then getting rid of it or amending it is the first step to fundamentally changing how the game works.
Yeah, so if it wasn't chaotic enough, now we're starting to get to the point where it could be damn near anything.
Let's see. The biggest changes that we've made so far are, in the initial rules you go to 100 points, and we've decided to go to 3,000. Scott has introduced things called capital units, which just a totally novel invention. There's no mention or even implication that they could exist in the initial rules or any discussion of the game that I've seen. We've decided that when you roll a die, you roll a d20. And as...
Yeah, before it was a d6.
Yeah. 20-sided die and 6-sided dice. And then there are a few manipulations of gaining points that have to do with adopting how rules are adopted. They go through a sort of democratic process, at least as the game is structured right now, where on your turn you propose a rule or amendment, and then it's put to a vote, and depending on what kind it is, dictates a different kind of majority, unanimous or simple. And I've been going about the process of making, if it passes unanimously, everyone gets points, and if it passes with a simple majority, certain things happen, and if you vote against your own proposition, you don't get points, that kind of thing. I've been structuring that up, trying to just make the game more interesting.
Yeah, he's made it pretty chaotic, you know, pretty far off from where it started.
I tried to introduce a law whereby at the beginning of your turn, your score would be multiplied by the number I, the square root of -1. But that failed.
We're not at that point yet.
Quite spectacular.
Like, that doesn't even make any sense, you know, to me. But maybe, you know, now that we can change the fundamentals of the game, who knows? I mean, maybe it's like the first one to get like 1200 I or something wins.
It's 6 o'clock.
Holy shit.
That's my computer.
Thank you, Vicky.
Yeah, that's her name.
Thank you, Vicky.
Yeah, we got the
Thank you, Vicky.
We got the UN's flag. This is Luke and John's apartment. Here we have John. The game hasn't started yet. There's John. I'm gonna see if I can get an angle. This is my iMac where I make most of my things. And right now he's trying to write a proposal.
John's going to be a bureaucrat of some sort.
John,
As far as I can tell, this is one proposal. This
Yeah.
entire thing that he has on Microsoft Word. Oh my god, that is so huge. Normally it's not that big, but for some reason he wants to make it... How many pages is that?
John-
Like 5?
John's been working on these two proposals since, well, it's 6 o'clock now, and he's been working on them since what? 5-ish?
Oh my god.
Of course, I did just get done reading the healthcare bills, the Senate and the House bills.
That's his inspiration.
That's the kind of person he is. John used to play nation states.
Yeah,
And
back before the war.
and
He was a hummingbird in his previous life, as well as a penguin, and what else? A fig?
A lot of things that couldn't spell.
a young Jewish woman in Romania.
I was a young Jewish woman in Romania.
What
thank you.
happened?
The economy.
The economy killed her.
I tell you, it's hard out there for a Jew.
I think you can actually read some of that from here.
This is
What's
going
this-
your internet presence, John, when you apply for a job.
Oh dear Lord.
What's this proposal about? A ledger?
We're not supposed to conspire.
Oh well, I can let you see things in committee. We'll call this for purposes in committee.
Oh, there's a rule against conspiring. So
we haven't conspired.
discussing it before the proposal is meant to be discussed would be construed as conspiring. But
Although we
This
haven't
is a-
actually passed a resolution defining what conspire means.
he's pointing
I'd
to.
argue that this is conspiracy.
Okay, look, this is what happens all the time. Okay, hold that. Yeah, hold
This
that.
is how
still.
the game works.
This is
We're
how
not
the
even
game works.
playing the game, and we're
This
playing the game.
here we have some amendments that we've made earlier on in the game, and one of the things that is under dispute at the moment is what is the definition of a conspiracy?
Yeah.
Because the initial
Well, I
rule,
suppose
the initial rule set says we're not allowed to conspire unless it is with our teammates, and since there's only 4 players,
The rule
we don't have enough.
conspiracy says planning as well, doesn't it?
Consulting.
Consulting or
Yeah.
conspiring, whatever that
Forget which
means.
one it was.
So I suppose sharing what you're doing isn't conspiracy. But if we give him any input, I'd argue that becomes conspiracy or
Consult.
consultation.
Yeah, I think it could be consulting. See, we also have a thing for when it's under dispute. We have a judge that comes along and interprets it for us.
And that's what the main bulk of this is going to be.
Feel the burn?
Oh, that's just
amending our rule on how the entire judicial process goes on.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
This is probably going to take an hour just to go through every single point because it's possible that he might have hidden some pork in there for himself. So you got to be very careful.
No, don't worry. It's all kosher.
You got to don't trust anybody. Make sure that it's good.
Especially not me.
We're over at my apartment.
You can't trust me. Don't trust me. Don't trust me. Don't. What? You can trust me not to trust what? Who? Me? Okay.
I hope so.